Hola, hola YouTube, muy buenas. Soy el entrenador, el profe Miguel. Bienvenidos al estudio de Life Method Spanish. Mira, hoy les tengo un cuentito. ¿Listo para escuchar? Escucha. Muchas veces me he dicho, voy a dejar de tomar alcohol. En vez de tomar cervezas, unas cuantas cervezas, los viernes por la noche, voy a empezar a acostarme temprano para levantarme muy temprano por la mañana, para sentirme más claro y más energético. Sí, en vez de tomar alcohol el fin de semana, voy a ir a surfear temprano por la mañana. Voy a empezar a correr mucho. Quiero empezar a entrenarme para correr un maratón. Ay, eso es. Voy a empezar algún día. Okay, in all seriousness, this isn't about a drinking problem. This is about two verbs, dejar de and empezar a. Dejar de plus infinitive and empezar a plus infinitive. Dejar de is to quit doing something. Empezar a is to start doing something. So we're going to talk about different ways to talk about things that you're quitting doing, giving up, and things that you're starting to do that you want to start doing, and all those types of related things. So let's get into it. Let's break it down. Muchas veces me he dicho, voy a dejar de tomar alcohol. I'm going to quit drinking. I've said this many times. Me he dicho. En vez de tomar, so en vez de tomar cervezas los viernes por la noche, instead of drinking beers on Friday nights, no. Voy a empezar. I'm going to start to do something else. Voy a empezar a acostarme temprano. I'm going to start to go to bed early on Friday nights. Acostarse is a reflexive verb. So when you use it after one of these expressions, when there's like a locked conjugated expression out front or like an anchor, and then you have the infinitive form, so it has to agree with your subject. So instead of acostarse, it becomes acostarme, right? It attaches right to the infinitive. It could come out front. It could say me voy a empezar. That would be cool. But anyway, para levantarme, para plus infinitive, levantarse, levantarme, since I'm talking about myself. Temprano por la mañana. So I'm going to go to bed early, start waking up early in the morning, so I can feel clear-headed and energetic, right? Yeah. Sí, en vez de tomar alcohol el fin de semana, so yeah, instead of drinking alcohol on weekends, voy a ir a surfear temprano. I'm going to go surfing in the morning. Voy a empezar a correr. I'm going to start to run. Quiero empezar, I want to start. Quiero empezar a entrenarme. I want to start to train para correr un maratón, to run a marathon, right? Ay, eso es. Ah, yeah, that's it. Voy a empezar. I'm going to start. Algún día, someday, right? So, little story I came up with to show you how to use these two verbs. I don't want you to worry about me. I'm fine. I do wake up early in the mornings to surf. I like to have a little fun every once in a while too. But anyway, let's get into it here. So, quedarse la noche, to stay up late, es bueno plus infinitive. It's an impersonal expression. We'll see how to use that in a second. Podrías is the conditional tense. Let's check this out. Let's check out how to use this, right? Dejar de plus infinitive, to quit doing something. When you have dejar de, and dejar has a lot of different uses, but when it's followed by de, it means to quit something, right? So quiero dejar de quedarme la noche. Quedarme la noche is to stay up late, right? So I want to stop doing that. I want to quit doing that. Es bueno dejar de fumar. It's good to quit smoking. De fumar, dejar de fumar. So es bueno plus an infinitive, and then dejar de plus an infinitive. We can do a lot with infinitive verbs, right? Learn the structures, plug and play. These are conversation lubricants. All right. ¿Puedes dejar de comer carne? It's a question, right? Could you? We could say podrías. That's an even more direct. Would you be able to? ¿Podrías dejar de comer carne? Could you quit eating meat? Right? So this is ways to use it in the present tense or kind of about future events. In past tense, dejar de plus infinitive is like I quit doing this. So let's look at a few different past tenses. Dejé de tomar alcohol en enero. I quit drinking in January, the dry January, right? Dejé de tomar alcohol en enero. Dejé is the yo form and preterite of dejar. So instead of learning all the different preterite verbs, right? I mean, you should, but if you want to be able to speak faster and more spontaneously, learn certain structures that you can kind of plug and play with and speak a little bit faster than sitting there trying to conjugate in your head all these different tenses. Another kind of preterite tense, but it's called the present perfect. He dejado de comer dulces. I've given up sweets. I've quit eating sweets. Something like that, right? He dejado is the yo form of that. And then another future tense. Voy a dejar de estresarme tanto. I just wanted to show you estresarse, right? To stress yourself out. Um, we have to change that pronoun, the reflexive pronoun, from say to may if you're talking about yourself. So, voy a dejar de estresarme tanto. I'm going to stop stressing so much. So these are some ways to use this verb for practical use. Another way that we use dejar is to talk about leaving something behind, leaving somebody. You could talk about it leaving your girlfriend, leaving your family and moving somewhere, right? Or it could be like, I left, I lost my keys, I left them at the party or something like that, right? So let's take a look. Dejé la fiesta temprano. I left the party early, right? So instead of salí de la fiesta, you can say dejé la fiesta. Dejé la playa porque hacía tanto calor. I left the beach because it was so hot. Ha dejado a su pareja. He left his partner. He left his girlfriend or whatever, right? Su pareja could mean boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, wife, either way. Not a conversation we want to talk about, but there's another way that we could use it. And then a command for no dejes tu celular. No dejes. It's like a command telling somebody it's a negative command. It's a negative to command. No dejes tu celular. Don't leave your phone, right? So somebody's about to leave without their phone. No dejes tu celular. So these are other ways that we can use the verb dejar, not just to talk about quit doing something. Some other expressions that we can use to talk about giving something up or taking a break, right? Because, porque en realidad no dejé de tomar alcohol. No. All right. I didn't quit drinking. I just took a break. I cut back maybe, right? Something like that. So me tomé un descanso. So tomarse un descanso could be like take a break, right? So me tomé un descanso de las redes sociales. Like I took a break from social media. Corté los dulces para perder peso. I cut out sweets to lose weight. Para perder. Para plus infinitive. Great expression to use, right? It's a powerful thing. Connector helps you flow, helps you get from one idea to the other. Hacer una pausa, to take a break. So it's the same as saying tomarse un descanso, more or less. Hice una pausa en el trabajo por una hora. So like I took a break from work for an hour. And then tomarse un respiro is just like take a time out, take a break, take a breath, right? Voy a tomarme un respiro. But dejar de is how you say I quit doing something, put it in whatever tense, attach some kind of infinitive verb to it, and you're talking about something you're gonna quit, you want to quit, you have quit, in whatever tense you're working with. Pretty easy. So now let's talk about empezar a plus infinitive. Empezar a plus infinitive is to start to do something. You need that connector, the preposition a after empezar in this case, right? So quiero empezar a tomar lecciones de guitarra. I want to start taking guitar lessons. Quiero empezar a tomar lecciones. Debo empezar a dormir lo suficiente. So I should start to sleep better or sleep enough, right? Debo empezar a. Or in past tense, empecé a comer más sano. I started to eat healthier. Empecé a, so that's past tense or preterite in the yo form. He empezado a planificar el viaje. I've started planning the trip. I've started planning the trip, the present perfect. He empezado, I have started. A plus infinitive. Some other useful expressions that are going to give you kind of the same effect. Llevar plus time. How long you've been doing something. That's one expression we can use. So I could say, empecé a enseñar español hace 20 años. I started to teach Spanish 20 years ago, right? I could say that. I could also say, llevo 20 años de profesor de español. And it's kind of the same as saying, I started doing this 20 years ago. basically, I've got 20 years teaching Spanish. Llevo 20 años tocando la guitarra. En realidad, tengo 30 años tocando la guitarra. Could say that as well. Even more expressions that can help you talk about something you started doing. Ponerse could mean to start. Okay, it could mean like I got up and started doing this. I went and started doing this, right? I got after it in certain contexts as well. So, me puse a estudiar el español. I started studying Spanish. Voy a dedicarme a hacer ejercicio por la mañana. Dedicarse, to dedicate yourself to something, right? So I'm going to start working out in the morning. I'm going to dedicate myself. Lanzarse could mean like to launch or dive in, like launch a career, launch, a business, or like, quiero lanzarme a conocer a más personas. All right. I'm going to like dive into meeting more people. I'm going to go out and meet more people, right? And when you're saying lanzarme a conocer a más personas, after conocer, usually you're followed by the impersonal a, right? The impersonal a after conocer. So quiero lanzarme a conocer a más personas. So to practice this, write it down. Voice memo yourself on your phone. Go on your favorite AI chat and record yourself. Hit the little microphone button. Speak this to it. Get some feedback. It'll interpret it and it'll give you feedback. It's a great way to practice and get some feedback. Now, I would maybe run the scenario through that AI chat and give them a little bit of background so that it doesn't give you too much harsh criticism. So what I want you to think about is voy a dejar de. What's something that you're going to give up? Or quiero dejar de, right? I want to give something up. Or pienso dejar de. I'm thinking about giving something up, quitting doing something, right? And then answer por qué. Answer cuándo. When are you going to do it? Answer cómo. What are some things you're going to do to stop doing it, right? And then a replacement behavior. Quiero empezar a. I want to start doing this. ¿Por qué? Why? ¿Cuándo? When are you going to do it? ¿Cómo? Right? It's hard to just watch video lessons and go out and use a language, right? You have to practice this. You have to have experiences with this, right? I have a friend, he used to always say about the guitar, keep it in your hands. He's now actually a famous YouTuber. It kind of inspired me to get started with this channel. But anyway, he would say, keep it in your hands, right? Because you could teach somebody a song, but if they don't continue to practice that song, play that song, it's gone. Same thing with language, right? And then number 37, it doesn't really mean anything, but there's been various studies on language acquisition, how many times you need to hear a word, see a word, say a word, how meaningful that experience is with the word. So, like just watching a YouTube video and then never using it again might not be the most meaningful experience with that word, but like using it, writing in a journal, saying it to yourself a few times, and then going to the Spanish grocery store, and then here we are using one of these expressions, right? And that's how this stuff sticks and becomes part of your vocabulary. So it says anywhere from 10 to 40 times using a word makes it part of your vocabulary depending on, your ability and your engagement and things like that. I just always have the number 37 in my head. I don't keep track when I'm, giving classes to my students or anything like that, but I know that I need to keep recycling this stuff in order for it to stick because them just listening to me and taking notes and crumpling them up and throwing them in their backpack, that's probably not an effective way for this to become part of their vocabulary. And same for you. So long story short, here's a little activity that you can do. However you decide to do it, hit that little voice memo on your phone. You know what those are? I use them all the time. Just kind of like record a thought real quick. Start doing that maybe. Just a good way to practice. And I mean, who's really listening? There's no risk really. Just a good way to start practicing this stuff. That's all I got for you today. If you found the video to be helpful, hit that like button, maybe drop a comment, what you think I could do to help you a little bit more, and give the channel a follow, and I'll see you next time. Adios.